What's up, YouTube? I'm Choctopus. Welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate video. I recently had a poll on my channel asking viewers, what was your first Super Smash Bros. Game? Now, if you didn't see the poll or you didn't participate in it, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, when did you start playing Smash? Me, personally, I started with 64 on launch day, and I've played every Smash game religiously since the original. And in the poll, to my surprise, I found out that most viewers, and you know, this doesn't apply to everyone, of course, or maybe even the majority, but most viewers that responded told me that their first Smash game was Brawl, or there was a large chunk of people that started with 4 or with now Smash Ultimate. And I'm trying to create a healthy balance of content for casual and competitive players and do all kinds of things and make this a very well-rounded Smash-centric or Nintendo-centric channel. And I've been getting a lot of questions and requests to do character breakdowns or provide tips and tricks to beginners. So I finally wanted to get around to doing it, and I compiled a list of 5 tips and tricks that we're going to go over in today's video to either, you know, help beginner players get better at the game, or maybe Smash veterans who have, you know, piecemealed a couple games and haven't quite played as much as some veterans have, and hopefully they can pick up something new from this video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is characters, because I've had a few questions, or actually more than a few, people asking me, I'm new to the game, which character should I play? So we're going to go into training just for the sake of it, just to show off a couple things, but let's go with Battlefield. We'll just pick it on Omega form just to have flat ground. Now, there's a couple characters, and you'll hear a lot of pro players tell you this as well. Guys, I promise, I have no clue what is going on with my my capture card and only the character select screen. But for some reason, it bugs out every single time. I promise I have every character. So let's talk about a couple characters that you can play if you are newer to the game, that are more well-rounded and balanced and just easier to play with. And Mario is definitely one of them. Playing with Mario is really good for beginners because he has great recovery, he has good smash attacks, he's good in the air, he's a well-rounded character, he's very easy to pick up. And, you know, being that he is the poster boy for Super Smash Bros., I think it's very fitting that he is so well-rounded. The next one would be Samus. Now, Samus has great projectiles, has good grabs, has some decent air attacks, is very floaty, and also has good recovery. From there, we'll go to Kirby. Kirby is probably one of the easiest characters to recover with. If you don't know how to land, or you quite don't know how to come back to the stage yet without getting KO'd, you do have his down B, which will help you get down there a little safer. Another one is Luigi, very similar to Mario, but definitely floatier. Luigi is very forgiving in the air if you make a mistake. He has very little frames to do some of his air attacks, and he also has decent horizontal recovery with his side B and his up B being accessible after that. So we're going to go in and we're going to play with Mario first. Let me make sure we got the right control set here. So if you're newer to the game and you're unsure which characters should I pick or should I main, or what characters are best for me, I always recommend going to characters like Mario or Samus first, because recovery is huge. You know, if you're constantly getting knocked off the stage, you want to make sure that you're able to recover. And Mario, with his cape, you know, he's pretty floaty, and his up B, you know, gains some pretty good distance and height. Obviously, this game has a very big roster, so while I encourage you to pick characters that you want to play, if you quite don't know the mechanics of the game or how to best recover, you don't want to pick a character like Simon or Richter or King Dedede, who he's a heavier character and he has a lot of frames to swing his hammer. You want to pick someone who can get attacks out a lot quicker, who can recover, who's a little faster, and is more forgiving if you make a mistake. And while Mario is not the character you ultimately want to main, that's okay. I just recommend playing him to get the base mechanics down. And speaking of base mechanics, that's going to be a good segue into the next tip that I want to offer is walk, don't run. Now, what does this mean? Every character has different sets of attacks. You have neutral attacks, you have special moves, you have air attacks, you have smash attacks, and then you have tilts. I feel a lot of beginners and a lot of people who are playing the game very fast or just trying to cover as much ground as they can as fast as they can when playing somebody, they often forget about tilts. Now, tilts are very important because they often come out quick. They could be good for doing damage or for comboing. So with Mario, if you do a down throw, for example, you can combo pretty easily into an up tilt to get some extra damage. So if we throw down, get an up tilt, you can follow up with that. And I feel like tilts are often very forgotten because people are constantly just mashing at the control stick and they're just trying to either dash or they're trying to do smash attacks to KO their opponents without trying to maximize the amount of damage that they can deal first to make it easier to launch the opponent. So when you begin dashing, you really have limited accessibility to the rest of your moves. You could either follow up with a dashing attack, which is a slide, or you can probably even get an up smash in there or a down smash, in some cases. But you have to stop if you want to perform a tilt attack, in which case tilt attacks might be a better option or might be a better kill confirm than using a smash attack. So try to walk more and use rolling more than just dashing back and forth. And, dash dancing is another mechanic that we'll go over in a different video when we talk about more advanced mechanics. But using walking and really focusing on what your opponent is doing and reacting as opposed to just charging in blindly and trying to land a bunch of attacks makes it a lot easier to access your full moveset. So if you're walking in, I can follow up with either a forward tilt, or I could get a down tilt in there for poke, or I could do an up tilt. So the next tip, I stress, do not run back and forth mindlessly during the entire match. Be a little more strategic, take your time, and try to use tilt attacks to either poke or KO enemies. Tip number 3, the C-Stick is your friend. What am I talking about? So, with the exception of the sideways Joy-Con, in which I hope most people are not using that to play Smash, every controller that is compatible with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has a C-Stick of some kind. Now, with the flick of a C-Stick, you can perform a Smash attack in one movement, as opposed to having to hit forward and attack to perform a forward smash, in which some cases you might botch it or accidentally perform a tilt or a running attack or a neutral attack. It's a lot easier. You could also charge smash attacks now by flicking the C-Stick, which I don't know if you were able to do in previous Smash games. Maybe in Smash 4, but beyond that, I'm not 100% sure if it was chargeable. But if you're comboing, you're doing a down throw to a down smash, it's a lot easier to flick the C-Stick down than it is to press down and attack, because you could end up, like I said, performing a tilt by accident. It is also important to note that you can remap the C-Stick to perform tilts, or in very rare cases, special attacks. Now, you're probably not going to be doing that most of the time, and you're going to be using it for either tilts or smashes. Now, you can remap it to tilts if you are having trouble performing tilts. If you are really mashing down on your movement stick, maybe try using the C-Stick for tilts. But if you're using it for smashes, it's great because it minimizes the room for error. So, like I said, if you're doing a combo and you need to hit that critical smash at the end of the combo, flicking the stick is a lot easier. The next tip I wanted to cover is playing against CPUs. Now, I do realize that might not be the most attractive way to get better at Smash, especially when there's so much to do in this game. There's 70-something characters to play. You have so many modes. You can go online. You can play with your friends. You can do this, that. There's a ton of things that you can do. If you truly want to get better at the game, stay offline for a while. Play against CPUs. I mean, don't get me wrong. The only true way to get better is to play against people that are going to hand your ass to you every single time, and that can absolutely happen online because you have varying skill levels that you can play against, and you're not always going to get matched up against someone, who's your level. But go in to Smash, turn off items, pick a beginner character like we spoke about, and try to put into play some of the techniques that we covered. This way, you can have better fighting habits when you go in and play actual people. Now, you have your difficulty levels, with 1 being a mindless drone that is going to be very easy to kill, and 9 being balls to the wall difficult. Now, I have to admit, as a Smash veteran, someone who's played the game since 64, I had some difficulty when I was unlocking characters. I mean, I unlocked everybody. It took a while. Some characters beat me a couple times before I got them. And I know a lot of people were complaining about that, especially newer players. So what I recommend is going into a regular solo battle, stock, couple stock, no items, and find a difficulty that is comfortable for you. So for the sake of argument, we're going to start with 5, which I think is a decent difficulty in this game. And we're going to pick 5 just so I can annotate without getting absolutely destroyed playing against this Meta Knight right now. And then you want to be able to consistently win or come close, you know, instead of losing every time. Once you can consistently win on a CPU level, up it. Go to the next level and then try from there. Once you can start consistently beating level 9s, you know, maybe try against 2 level 9s, and then from there, so on and so forth, until you get better at the game. Now, I'm not going to play all the way through this because I don't want to lose in my own video, in which case I probably will. No, seriously, I could beat level 9s, I promise. The last tip I wanted to go over, and we came back to training for this one, is recovery awareness. Shocktopus, what the hell are you talking about? Well, what I mean by recovery awareness is knowing what skills or what moves you will need to use to recover and what distance you can recover from. I think it's really important to know your character and know, you know, how far away you can be and still recover to the stage, because there's a lot of gameplay that happens down here, you know, off the stage, whether you're chasing somebody to try and spike them or knock them further away from the stage, or whether someone knocks you away and you have to defend yourself on the way back, or just get back to the stage. Obviously, you don't want to spend your entire Smash career or, you know, playing Smash, hanging out on the edge of the stage, just hoping to hit a Smash attack when people are constantly knocking you off, spiking you, doing some air attacks or air combos to, you know, to knock you further away from the stage so you can't recover. So for Mario, for example, since, you know, we're playing him, knowing that he can kind of float through the air if he uses his cape is definitely valuable, because you can almost stop or knock back projectiles and then still use your up B to recover. It's also great to be aware of how many frames or how long it takes to get a specific attack out. Now, Mario, for example, has his forward air, which spikes, but takes a lot more time to get out than his back air, which is pretty quick. It's almost instantaneous. So if you're performing a forward air, if your opponent has decent damage, you want to try and get a stock off and you want to try and spike them, you want to give yourself some time, especially if you're not very comfortable playing off the edge as of yet. So running off the edge to do a forward smash is going to be a little more difficult to recover, especially if you're not used to doing it. You want to give yourself a little more time by using one of the 2 jumps, and then from there, you can actually use the second jump to recover, as opposed to even having to use his up B. Start there, at least until you get the timing down and how long it's going to take, and then once you get really good at it, you know, especially for moves that take longer to wind up, then you can start running off the stage and getting lower and fighting lower. But Mario's back air is really good because it knocks your enemy horizontal. It comes out really quick. You can actually perform it right off the edge. You know, you don't even have to use a jump. You can just hit, if you're hanging on the edge, you can hit left, jump, and then you can perform a back air and get right back to the end of the stage. So that's it for this video. If you are a new player or if you're someone who's just looking to improve their game, I do hope you see value in this video, and these tips actually help you become a better player. If there's anything specific you want me to cover, let me know in the comments section below. I do plan on doing more detailed character guides, and I'm currently working on my first one, which was supposed to come out last week, but it got pushed to what's hopefully going to be this Friday. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more tips and tricks and just other fun Smash content. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and let me know what you thought in the comments section below. You can check me out on social media as well. I've been playing with viewers in my Discord channel, so feel free to join it. Links also in the description. But thanks for watching. Have an awesome day, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.